expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and close its way under your skin. Just got out from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit. That good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Stage.
All right. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
it's full
hey.
of energy
Yeah,
today.
right. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. What a great day, too. Beautiful outside. Welcome to the grounds with Giles and Jones. I'm Giles. He's Jones.
Yeah.
Where we talk about everything from peanut butter to politics, but no politics because we know where that ends.
Pause.
And everybody.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Hey, there's Uncle Pete up there. Join us. Love us. Come on in on StreamYard, the most unique show here on 21.6 and at 216 Creator Studios. You can come right up here on screen with us on the live stream, be part of this fantastic show.
Fantastic interaction of just wealth of knowledge and men spoken.
That's it.
Of course, never truer words.
So, some shout outs to friends of the studio, Natural Therapy Wellness Center, www.mchenrymassage.com. If you are stressed, they'll help you be blessed. Best of the Fox, year after year after year. All of them are licensed massage therapist, massage therapy, reflexology, acupuncture, Thai yoga massage.
Yeah, they cover the whole 9 yards with taking care
whatever,
of you. Yep.
Couples, whatever you need. John and his team do a great job. 815-385-8190. Today is $5 Bouquet Friday over at JH Events and Flowers. 2 locations, one in McHenry and one in the great city of Fox Lake, right across from the train station.
Yeah.
If you are in trouble or if you just want to lighten up somebody's day, you can stop in. $5 bouquet of fresh cut flowers.
I wonder how much of their business is guys in trouble. That'd be an interesting stat, right? Like you guys sell X amount of flowers a week, right? Like how many of those are people coming in? How many of those cards are saying, shit, I'm sorry, baby.
Every time I buy flowers, somebody asks me, what did I do wrong? And I always tell them nothing yet, but I want to stay ahead of it.
Yeah, I'm paying it forward. Here, baby, I love you. So next time I really screw up, remember I gave you flowers last Friday.
That's it. Of course, a shout out to DCCS as well. They're a global business that, if you need something, they probably can do it. So check them out at godccs.com. Which is great, and Aegis Solutions, big friends of the studio now. Aegis Solutions, complicated IT and technology solutions made easy. So it's good.
Complicated IT isn't that just standard IT? Isn't it just complicated?
IT. No, regular IT is just unplug it, plug it back in. This is complicated.
Yeah, how do you fix it? Yeah, we just unplug it.
And then our good friends over at Destiny Plumbing. Destiny Plumbing. If it runs the water or poop or whatever you need a plumber for, Destiny Plumbing is the way to go.
Yeah, good people over there.
Water heater last
still
year.
Warm?
Yeah, still
good. That's important. When they put it in, that it actually works.
Yeah. So welcome in everybody. Today is April 26th. We were talking about funerals. You went to I'm sorry, we can't call them funerals. A
celebration of life.
Celebration of life. Yeah. And how did that go?
Wow.
Right. Well, we were talking about that,
right?
And I said, what a scam! I mean, We in America have gone, hey, this is great. Now I've told my kids, I'm like, put me in a pine box, burn me in the backyard, throw me away. I'm dead. I'm dead. Right.
Absolutely.
But now it's, we've got to have a celebration of life. We can't call it a funeral anymore. That's too negative. So we call it a celebration of life. And we're going to put Scott's body in a velvet lined
$10,000 box.
That's going to get
casket
or whatever. Final
resting place. Yeah.
That's going to get dirt thrown on it anyway.
Yep.
And then we've got to get caterers and you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's
a big production. Yeah, that doesn't really need to be a big production in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for y'all to cry. You know what I mean? But literally, to me, I'm just like, burn me up, throw me away.
There's something I do really enjoy about the idea of people throwing a party when I'm gone, and they can raise a drink to me. I don't want them to spend the money on the casket.
Right.
I don't want them to pay a funeral surcharge.
Right. Yeah, I don't want that either.
Those prices.
Right.
But like get together in my backyard.
Right.
Really tear the house apart since I'm not there anymore. Like,
you don't have to worry about fixing it, right?
Live it up and don't cry. I want everybody laughing.
Well, really, I
want people telling horribly embarrassing stories of me.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Really celebrating,
right?
Celebrating who you were, what you were, all your fuck ups, all your good, all your bad. Just right, not cry. Because you're sad. I get it. But it's you're there to celebrate that person and I guess bon voyage, right? Like you're never gonna see him again. Talk about all the good stuff, but they put it into this thing where it's a negative, right? You got to dress in black and come in, and that's not my thing.
Well, in the whole industry, behind end of life. There's so many different ways to go out now. You can get your body cryogenically frozen and shot into space if you have enough money. It costs about $20,000.
You can become a diamond.
you can get turned into a diamond. Yeah, absolutely.
$1 million. That's what your funeral is going to cost by the time we're ready to pass away. $1 million. What's that for? Well, you get a pine box and you get just 1 nano piece of dirt. That's it. Doesn't even cover you.
See, and see, you're all about, hey, you guys are like, listen, here's what, celebrate me when I'm here, not when I'm dead.
Right, that's what I was getting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen. I want to enjoy it. I want to laugh with you. I want to remember those things. Right? If I'm in hospice or whatever, let's throw the fucking party before I die.
Right. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Yeah. No, I have 100% agreement.
Burn me up, throw me away.
Until your loved ones get out there and they're like, he was a real ass.
No, that's okay. At that point, who cares?
Right. You are who you are. Your life was your life. You know what I mean? And that's for me. And that's the thing. Celebrate who they are, show who they are. And, like you say, prefer before. Unfortunately, that just never happens. Everyone gets so busy in their lives. And then
people do that.
I don't know.
Because it's not, we should start a trend because that's what we've grown up knowing, right? Somebody passes on, you go to the wake, you stare at their dead body in a box. And if you're religious and stuff like that, you'll pray for them. And then, kneel, pray, walk back, listen to the priest say a bunch of nice words. And then, look at all
doesn't even know the person.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Look at all the pictures that they put out. Hopefully a good smattering of pictures of the person's life, right? That can kind of show you. But I don't want that. I literally want a party. I don't want a wake. I don't want a funeral. I don't want to be buried. If anything,
Absolutely.
I want to be cremated and basically spread for me in the mountains or in the ocean. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
But, which I know it's illegal to do anyway, but for me, I don't want
allegedly,
right.
Allegedly would like
if anybody finds out.
While I was talking about this actually with my mom the other day before I went, she's like, same type of thing. I'm like, you have a grave, right? You go visit a grave. That to me is just like the person's not there. What's the significance of just staring at a headstone? If that was their vessel, their body is down there. That's their vessel, their soul and everything. It's not there. Right. You're standing on them. Right. This is something you could do anywhere. So I just, and that's just another, cost. When you die, it costs your family, whoever's left behind, a ton of cash to do this. Right. And that's here in America. Right.
Well, there's whole industries about planning for it. And then there's estate planning. There's the actual funeral industry. There's so many industries that just make money off of your eventual mortality.
Casket insurance in case this thing pops open.
We're going to sell you casket. Do they make that? Is that true? We're going to give you casket insurance. Base starts rusting before 20 years. We got a 20-year no rust.
You can't be buried in your Mustang.
Right.
Corvette.
That would be nice.
Right.
That would be nice.
That would
PA or whatever.
They say you can't take it with you, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if you got a property, you could bury yourself on your own.
I mean, it depends how rich you are, right? Like if you can afford a pyramid, you get to take anything you want with you.
Yeah, right.
That's right. That's right. I just think and then these things tie up all these emotions and everything, and people walk out of there going, God, it's good to see Steve. I haven't seen him for a while. I was a shitty friend for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's a person going, I guess I'm a piece of shit.
Even though I'm dead, I feel entitled to that guilt.
Right.
I feel like I want all my shitty friends to show up and be like, you know what? Should have been nicer. No. I don't want any negative feelings surrounding it, and the reality of it is, if you have some sort of event, people are going to be crying. If depending on the person you were, what your circle looks like. I always thought the idea of like a Viking funeral, but same thing.
I was going to say, put me out there, burn me, and let the thing sink.
That's why I said in the green room, man. Do it like Darth Vader. Float me out there and just burn me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, each his own, but yeah, it's just.
Or hers.
Or yes, you're right. You're right. They, them, their, we, us, it, whatever. We have to use proper terminology.
Here lies
them. Here lies them. I didn't know you could bury people together. No, it's him, but it's them now.
But he wanted it.
But he wanted to be them because he just, he's a little bit bigger person.
I've already made arrangements.
Right.
My friend and I had a long running bet on, and he won the bet. And I forget even what it was over now, but the stakes were our death arrangements. So when I die, he gets to put me in a cheap pine box, and he gets to dress me like old school Jim Morrison, leather pants, red blouse. Yeah. And he is.
That's 100%. Losing a bet. That's not a bad loss.
Well, mine was he would have to spring and find a way to illegally do the Viking burial. That would have been if I had won, and then I got to dress him ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's a horrible way to go out, but yeah, I feel like it'll at least lighten the mood. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's the thing for me. I mean,
I want to by looking at you going, I had no idea.
Right. Yeah. Right.
He was pretty fly for a white guy.
That's right. Right. Yeah, he was pretty. He was pretty fly for a white guy.
Face.
Yeah. But I mean, that's for me.
Oh yeah. Well, people being like, I didn't know he felt that way.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God. Don't do that to me.
But yeah, I don't want the traditional. I mean, I'm not super traditional in a lot of respects anyway, but for something like that, I don't want to. I want people to have a party. I want you to celebrate my life, and enjoy yourself. I don't want you crying that I'm gone. I mean, celebrate the fact that hopefully I was a good person. I made some differences. I got good kids, and you know what I mean? I got good grandbabies, good friends that can continue on, not just, and crying and all this shit. I mean, not for me. I don't enjoy that. I mean, that's the hardest, but that's one of the hardest things for me when I do have to go to one of those. It's like, man, this is just going to be a downer fest. Well, that's a good question for me. And actually, I almost didn't go to this one because it's respect for the family,
social pressure,
right? So, but respect for the family. And I don't, and in this person's family, I didn't respect one of his family members. But
so you went.
I went because it was actually showing what I was convinced was it was showing respect for him, even though he's gone. You're showing your face in front of it, in front of all the people. I mean, granted,
so
I did enjoy
your psychic or psyche.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You didn't go for him or them. You went because you wanted to make you feel good.
No, it didn't make me feel good.
Well,
no, I went because, I did want to say goodbye. I was hoping it was going to be a much better service and, more people would show up. But I did want to see some of the people I haven't seen in a long time that lost contact with. And so that was nice. And like I said, I spent most of the time talking to one of my best friend's moms. She's 87 years old and we just sat down. We were just chatting most of the time. And I mean,
but there is that social obligation,
You feel that obligation, and you shouldn't feel that way.
That culture of obligation to go to these.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel that. But
if I being a deacon, I've done a lot of funerals.
Right.
Quote unquote celebration of life.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I don't. No, if I don't like the dude, I'll sleep well. He's not going to haunt me.
Right.
Right. Uncle Pete passed away. Didn't even have a funeral.
Well, I was gonna say it was during COVID too, though. So
2021.
Yeah, that's true.
After.
Yeah. Post.
But right. I don't know what they did with him. Right. But knowing Uncle Pete, it's like, yeah, they probably just threw him away. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Rancher Ron had a huge. He was my mentor. He had a huge wedding out in California, and I could go out there and visit his grave if I wanted. But and people are like, oh, well, that's a long way. No, if it was that important for me to go, I would have been there.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact of the matter is, I knew Rancher Ron. I didn't know his family. I didn't know a lot of his friends. Right.
So
the only reason I would have gone there was for people to go, hey, you're the radio guy with him, aren't you?
Right.
Oh,
right.
You know what I mean? It would have been to stroke my own ego. And I'm like, that's not what he would want. That's not what I want, right? I pay homage to him. I got his book up here, right? I've got the Deadpool. That's Uncle Pete. That was his favorite. He had it on his stickers on his car. He loved Deadpool.
So he did.
So I got a little homage to my two business partners here.
Right.
And that's my way of showing respect. But
that's you paying your respects in your own way.
Right.
Which is the way it should be. It should be personal.
100%.
Right. Yeah. It shouldn't be what everyone else expects.
And Alice and I talked it out quite a bit. And I was like, I could afford to go out to California for it. The whole works, right? It wasn't a month. There wasn't anything holding me back other than the only reason I'm going to go there is to stroke my own ego, to say, oh, you're the radio guy. You and Ron did. Oh, we loved that. We liked it. That would have been the only reason. And a lot of times these quote unquote celebrations of life is for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Oh, wow. Look at what are you doing?
Well,
like a high school reunion.
Yeah. It's actually funny you bring that up because that's a lot of the conversations that were happening. Right. And that's part of the reason I sat with my buddy's mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we talked about just life and, everything and how she helped me and how, maybe I helped her. It just, it wasn't, hey, what are you doing? I mean, I did get those questions and stuff.
Mrs. Robinson, thank you for being
But that's, what, that's a weird conversation to have, especially for me, at least. It's something like that. So, hey, your buddy's dead, but hey, how you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Hey, what are you doing? How's it going? I don't know. That's just, I don't know. For me, it's about you're there talking about them and how your life was and what was going on. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know why. It just comes off a little, I don't know. You said you're stroking your own ego. For me, I don't, and I don't want to, I mean, I don't think I'm an ego stroker. Right. I mean, sometimes people ask me what I do and I don't like to say what I do because I don't want to come off as like braggadocious or anything. You know what I mean?
Sure,
people ask me, it's like, what do you do? Well, I have a small business, that I run. And, oh, really? What? And it's,
And then all of a sudden it's, hey, all right, that's done. Let's go have a ham sandwich on the Hawaiian
Hawaiian bun. Yeah.
Why is that? You just unlocked a memory of every funeral I've ever been to. I didn't even think that was a thing until you just said it.
Everyone.
No, these guys had pizza.
Yeah,
they had pizza.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, let's go to the steakhouse now.
Right.
It's like, hey, we've got some single layer ham sandwich.
So here, what's really funny about what you just said there. This actually was one of a different type of celebration, if you will. They had two places. From 12 to 3, they were at Belo's Steakhouse. Belo's, please send us a check to 216 and that, please, for your free advertisement, which was cool. Lake Zurich, yep. And then they did a bar in Ivanhoe, which these were his two favorite places. But it was, when you said steak, I was really like, wow. I'm like, but who's going to take the whole day to go to two different
that's
venues
kind of
to
cool.
hang out?
At least they were his favorite places.
Right.
That's kind of cool. I do enjoy that.
That was cool. That was cool. That part, and that's kind of one of the reasons I did, because this is where he, this is where he hung out.
Sure,
this was his life.
This is like, here's the bill.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Come here. It's their favorite place.
Hey, put it on his tab.
Actually, they were, from what I understand, they were pretty darn good friends. So I don't think they charged him a dime for it. So whatever, doesn't matter. But it was something different because that's not your typical thing. It was like a double set. Hey, stop here in the morning, and then in the afternoon we're going to go here.
Yeah.
We'll continue the celebration.
Here's our bill. Here's the check. No. Didn't charge a thing. No, I shouldn't.
Well, and that is a huge part of our culture too, showing guilt and appreciation in different forms through monetary means.
Yep.
So it's like, what's the most expensive funeral arrangement that I can afford to send to this person, and it's like, all right, cool, $150, you can get them a nice big flower thing. And, I've known people to do that all the time. My grandfather died.
See, I don't want flowers. I don't want any of that crap. If
they're already dead.
Right.
The flowers are dead. We killed them.
Right. Well, and I would rather them take the
life.
money if they're going to buy something and put it towards a charity or something that can benefit other people. If they're going to do that, I don't send flowers. I'll send a card, but even the card, it's like you and I. What do you say? Well, this sucks. Sorry for your loss. No, because it's like it doesn't cut the mustard for me.
Praying for you and your family.
Yeah, praying for praying for your family, sending best wishes.
Yeah.
So,
but no, you said something earlier that is actually randomly poetic, which is, okay, you're standing on a gravestone. There's nothing there. The person's not there. You're in a graveyard. It's not aesthetically pleasing. They scatter your ashes in the mountains, right? Every time somebody looks at a mountain, they're like, there's Scott. Now that's majestic, right?
Well, actually, when I would be hiking and stop to piss,
I was going to say, you wash me down.
You piece of shit.
You're diluting me.
Find the oceans,
Well, the ocean, that's a lost cause there, but yeah.
Every time you catch a fish and eat it, you're like, nice
Scott.
to see you again, Scott.
It's got a little Giles taste to it, a little Giles and a little Wang.
But no, that's a much nicer thought. It's a much nicer thought than making somebody go visit a gravestone. Because I never, these are things that are common sense, but people don't talk about. They don't think about. They just do it. You go, you lay flowers on a grave. Why?
Because that's what you were taught. That's what you saw growing up. It was just you're following a routine or following what everyone else does, and that's what our world is about. Just doing what everyone else does.
Think about this great nation. How many bodies are scattered between the coasts that are unmarked? The pioneers, the Indians, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think about all the bodies. They're just, there was a mound. They put rocks over you and made a wooden cross, and the wooden cross fell over and
rotted away, and now you don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
I just watched documentary on John Gotti. Bodies that have cement shoes. Now there's just feet in cement.
Yeah.
Someplace. You know what I mean? It just looked like a block of cement because the body's been eaten, decayed, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a skeleton laying in there.
Right.
Yeah. Which is that's weird to
allegedly,
think about too.
Allegedly, yeah.
Anybody related with the Gotti family tuning in? Thank you.
Yeah, we're sorry. We're sorry that it all happened.
He was like a folk hero to me. Amazing, right? The Teflon Don.
The Teflon Don. Yeah, got away with everything.
Anyway, but that's why I say is people get so moved and whatnot, and all that this huge industry is you have to look at it just like a car wash. It's an industry.
Yeah,
and
it is absolutely.
And there are people. Just show me a rickety old funeral home. There ain't one.
Right.
They're new buildings. They're big. They're beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ain't cheap. Death is an expensive industry.
Yeah.
You make money.
And a lot of people don't want to do it. It actually pays really well.
Yeah.
Aside from the money that the business itself makes. Mortician.
No, it's not like the person that they're taking care of can complain that they didn't do a good job.
Right.
Yeah, right. It's like, and then how many of those places have gotten in trouble for improperly caring for the bodies that they have?
Right.
It's all over the place.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't see it.
It's
is that bad. A rampant thing too? You messed up their makeup and they're dead.
Just exactly that's the exact point. Who's going to complain unless somebody finds out? And when somebody finds out, it's this big thing, and it's like, you don't think they're all doing that?
See, and then the other thing where I'm at is, why do I want you to remember me dead?
Yeah.
Right.
Literally, you know what? We haven't seen each other since high school, Steve, and you're like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then I'm laying there in a casket.
Right.
Dead as a doornail.
Yeah.
That's an imprint, right? That's the last thing you're going to read. You're going to be like, hey, ooh. You're right.
Yeah, it's not the way you want to remember somebody.
I'd rather you remember me out at man camp or whatever.
Right.
Sitting by a river, you know, smoking my corncob pipe, whatever. That's what I would want you to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You as the person and who you were.
Down a basketball court, whatever, right? That's the way. I don't want you to show up and go, oh, the makeup's pretty bad.
I was gonna say, man, he was missing teeth,
right? Right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know it's weird
to that, right? And that's why I say it's a weird industry that we've decided to go. This is important. And then we said, well, you can't put them in a pine box anymore because all the stuff seeps out into the ground, which is bad. Yeah. So we got to have these hermetically sealed $20,000 caskets, and for you, because you want to be comfortable when. No, I'm dead.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable.
Right. I want my family to be comfortable with that money. That's what
right. I wanted to be comfortable this past week. I slept so hard my neck hurts today. You know, I wanted to be comfortable then, not when I'm dead.
Right.
I'm literally dead.
Yeah. And it shows you. I mean, you can sell anybody on anything, you know, because it's not like, who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for the person? The person don't care. You know, you're doing it for almost. I mean, I wouldn't say ego, but you're doing it for others.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean,
that's it. And that's why I say it's for you. You went for you. You didn't go for him. You didn't go to pay respect for anything. You went for you. Yeah. That's what we do. I'm not just saying you.
Right. At the end of the day, at the big picture of it, it was.
Yep.
You know, I did go for me because it was I was hoping it was going to be, you know, a good, pleasant experience to where I could just remember them and, you know, kind of put it behind me. But it was just, they did such a shitty job that it was just, I felt bad. I was kind of embarrassed to be like, wow, like, don't you guys, you know, feel like a bunch of douchebags because, you know, what you're doing is just void of any human really emotion.
Especially because if you're gonna do it, you have to do it at least right. You know, like what you said with the pictures, the selection of pictures.
The selection of pictures was everything from the point that he started his downward spiral till he died. It was basically nothing of him when you were younger, you know. And that's, I mean, for me, I don't know if this sounds weird, but when I do go, I do quite enjoy seeing some of those photos, right? I mean, it does bring you back. Well, I mean, obviously you like to see yourself, but it's also just like the memories of everything back then, like the old cars, the houses, the neighborhood that you grew up in, or maybe teachers, or you know what I mean? People that you haven't seen forever.
Memories, yeah.
Yeah, the memories, right? And just the poor quality of pictures of how they used to be, right?
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. An old original panoramic camera, like that would print them out. You'd shake them.
Yeah, a couple. What's the one that you prints on itself? The old Polaroid. There you go. The old Polaroids. I couldn't. What's the one like this? You sit there and you wave the shit out of it till it comes to actual color. But I don't know. It's something I haven't thought a ton about. But I just want to party. I don't want people to, you know, I don't want a casket. I don't want all that crazy shit.
Well, and then, you know, there is something about the new, this day and age. And I mentioned some of this earlier with everybody's got a social media presence, right? You've got a Facebook. A friend of mine died, last year in December. And every day and it's probably not the healthiest thing, but every day his sister goes on and she puts a message about how much she misses him. But, she also makes sure to share his memories. So every year when it pops up, it says, hey, last year you did this. She's doing that and bringing back up all these memories, all these happy times. And it's kind of like a living memorial. It's an active memorial that just continues. And it isn't you dead in a casket. It's because none of those pictures are up there. It's all him playing with his kids, him going out on fishing trips, him going to the Bulls game. And that's kind of nice.
Right.
The fact that that'll be there forever as a standing memorial to him. And I mean, I'm sure eventually she'll stop commenting and, you know, but it'll always be there.
Well, you know, and this is one of those subjects too, that honestly, I mean, how many people really talk about? I mean, in you know, being straight up and honest and really thinking deep into it. I mean, you know, I've thought about it, Kent's thought about it, and that's really what I want. But when you pass on, you know, are the people that love you and put it together going to honor that? Are they going to do what they feel is best?
Oh, they're always going to do what they think is best. Yeah.
Right.
I'm dead.
Nobody listens to me now. Why would they when I'm dead?
Right. Right. Hey, you know. Yeah, no.
Right.
The only way to do it is you you spell it out in legal documents so that
Yep.
nobody can touch shit unless it's done to the T.
Right.
Or if you want to be a prick about it and you really want to do it right, then you have to spell it out in a legal document, a trust, whatever, and says nobody can touch any of my money, nobody can get anything
unless these criteria are met.
These are met,
Yeah.
right? And then they have to.
And then
right?
they're like, that motherfucker. Even on his deathbed, he's a dick.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I want to achieve.
Right.
When I die, I want to make all the people that fucked with me suffer at least one last time.
Right.
And you
Right?
just have to do an elaborate game of Simon Says
Yeah.
well into my death.
That's right.
I
So,
want a projection of my face above the entire event.
Make it do a scavenger hunt.
If you want
Scavenger.
anything from my will, you have to race the bulls in
Right.
Spain.
In Spain.
And if you survive, then you
yeah,
get
that's a good one. Find out if they're tough as nails and if they deserve it.
right, like Squid Games, but after you're dead. Making them go through it.
I didn't watch those, so I don't know. I didn't watch that.
There's
I know that was the rage there for a while.
It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent show.
I just think that people get so emotional about it because they start. It's all about me. I'm going to your funeral because of the way I feel. I'm going to go show my respects. No, you're not. You're hoping you bump into somebody. You're trying to feel good. Because if going and looking at dead people made you feel good, you do it all the time. Right.
I do that every day when I drive around. Everyone in their car is dead
I'm just
mentally.
That's weird.
They're mentally gone.
You're
Getting
Yeah.
deep with the societal
I'm gonna
commentary.
put
right
that on
now.
my window. That's a bumper sticker.
So it's but the idea is we bought into this narrative. This is, back in the day, when I say back in the day, in the 1800s, you'd be dead for a couple days. They'd put some, they'd prop
They'd
you up
wrap you.
and take pictures with the family.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, and they party with you just propped up all night.
Just propped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was in real life, right? You're just drunk. They just filled you up.
Weekend at Bernie's
it's
style.
Weekend at Bernie's.
See,
me up
now,
beside the jukebox.
everybody has permission. If you want a weekend at Bernie's, I would accept that as my walking funeral any day.
Yeah.
Take me to the beach. Let me get hit on by women.
Oh man.
Just put some sunglasses on me and we're good.
I was gonna say I was just wondering if we were live or not because everyone's just like, I just do not want to touch this subject.
all the way from Grapevine, Texas.
Good
Don.
morning, Don.
Yeah. How about that Bears draft last night?
So
Was it cold? What was drafty?
Let's talk about this. Welcome Caleb Williams to a career-ending move. There we go. Because the Bears have never gotten it right. They still don't have it right, and everybody thinks he's the savior. So we'll see you. We'll take you for the 3 years of your rookie contract, and then we will go back to the well and
Well,
look
I
for
can
it.
speak. I can speak for the fact that one player can make a huge difference for your team.
Well, yeah. But do have a system there.
That's true. It does help.
System.
We don't have one here. Our
Hey,
system.
hey, come on, Jake. Why not Chiefs and Bears in the Super Bowl? Why not?
That'd be great.
Well, because as a Bears fan, I can say they are horrible.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to be realistic. Even though I don't pay attention, I hear all this stuff.
We had 1985.
There
Yeah,
you
man.
go. There you go.
You got the Super Bowl shuffle.
Which isn't even right. It was in 1986. With the Super
It was in 1986. You are correct.
Well, that's when they won, but an 85 season. Right?
Yeah, it was 85 season, but they won the Super Bowl in 1986. Yeah, Deke is right for once.
And they gave us the Super Bowl shuffle. I mean, what else do you need?
So we can't even
That's gonna
get
live
that
on
right,
for.
'cause
Yeah, we can't even
everybody
get that
goes,
right.
1985. Well,
What about 1985? Where was that? Oh, that was
Hey,
George. That was 80
in '85, they had a great defensive line. All right.
Wait, was George was Orwell 85 or
Right
80?
here in the Midwest.
People are always saying that.
Was 85? Was George Orwell 85 or 84? The book.
84, 1984.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why that popped into my head, dude. I'm a guy. Things randomly pop in and
Squirrel.
out of my mouth. Others don't make it.
Don,
I don't know.
When you die, what are we doing for your funeral?
Well, it's interesting. I haven't even really decided that myself, and I probably should get to it at my age. But I'm definitely in the celebration of life versus funeral. I think there's a big difference between a funeral and a celebration of life myself. But again, it could be semantics. But I'm in that category of I would rather people. And I put in there, and I think you said it too, Deke. I tend to like to remember people alive. I don't like going to open casket funerals and things of that nature. I would prefer remembering people alive. I don't need to see them dead to have closure. I'm confident there's not a big conspiracy that the guy's celebration of life I went to. I'm pretty confident he's not alive still. I don't think it's a big conspiracy.
Well, and then you've got, the preacher gets $300-$400. There's a lot that goes on that you're just like, wait, what? This is a scam, right?
For me, that's
part of the reasons I wanted to come in here. You guys, I think, I'm just going to play the other side. You guys are being a little bit cynical about this stuff this morning. Everything that people do, they choose to do, and they don't have to. People choose to do the service the way they want, and people choose to come whether or not come, depending on whether they want. I don't know. I just thought that's why I put in that comment. I said this discussion is more depressing than a funeral.
We didn't even get the comment.
I mean,
we didn't even get the comment.
Didn't come through.
Yeah, I noticed you guys weren't posting comments, so I thought
there's nothing coming up.
There's nothing coming through. So.
That's why I said I wonder.
You're missing all of Shayna's brilliant. You're missing all of Shayna's brilliant comments.
Well, let me jump in. YouTube here because nothing's coming up on the jumbotron.
Yeah, we got nothing. I just said we just really scared everybody away this morning with this morbid conversation.
Well, that could be true. Both two things could be true, Scott.
Oh, man, there we go.
So I'm a glutton for punishment. Instead of just bailing, I come in the studio. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Okay. We got to restart that or something or what?
So Lisa says, good morning. Shayna says, did I miss the introduction or are you off your game this morning? Don says, you are dead. They get to do what they want to.
That was my first comment.
Butter voice. Everything butter voice. I don't know.
I didn't know what that one meant. I didn't know what that one meant either.
Social events in a time when physically connecting was more difficult. Oh, well, I could see that, Shayna. Yep. And then Don says, I was at a celebration of life yesterday in Dallas. Over 250 people impacted by the person who had passed. Impacted. What I don't.
Well, just somebody. He just was one of those people that positively influenced a lot of people. It's it's not everybody brings. Not everybody touches that many people in the course of their life. And he was only 69, which was sad. He died fairly not suddenly, but he lived 40 days after he went in the hospital. Yeah. But before that, he was all healthy. But yeah, it was just somebody that really impacted a lot of people. And I think my favorite part, I think you said it, Scott, my favorite part of the whole service was a lot of the old pictures because I've only known him, for the last 4 years. And pretty funny to see people that you've gotten to know super well in the last 4 years, but to see pictures of him 30, 40 years ago was kind of.
And all those pictures tell a story. You know what I mean?
Shayna asked, who's the guy with the butter voice? Well, that's Steve.
Oh, that's what she was asking. Yeah.
And a butter face, from what I've been told. So there you go. Don got it. Thank you.
He's a good-looking guy. Everything butter face.
Face for radio.
He does make an.
My mom always told me that growing up.
Oh my
Steve,
God.
you do make an ugly one.
First of all, gotta disagree with you there. I think you give me a wig and some pumps and I'd be rocking it.
You're rocking it, huh? Yeah, that's absolutely. It. That's your thing, huh?
That's a different show, Steve. That's a totally different show.
Yeah, we could go there.
Yes. Steve does a podcast. You guys have a podcast.
Life is a breeze.
Life is a breeze
with Matt and Steve.
Because life is a breeze because it blows?
Yeah.
That's actually 100%. It's an ironic name. It's about all the misfortune that has befallen us, and we make light of it.
That's it.
That's just life.
But he also does a lot of voiceover work. He's in that profession, and we had him on last week, and we're like, the door's open, come in every week. We love it. So.
Yeah. This is a really cool
and it brings
show.
a millennial view to things.
It's always good to have a third idiot with us.
Well, it's good. It's good to have somebody who's in touch with reality. I mean, honestly,
we're not.
Yeah, you're the farthest from us, guy. Jesus,
we're not.
Yeah, and I said you're the farthest.
I'm living in my own reality, and that's all that matters.
Because everybody there knows you.
That's right, and everybody likes me there. It's like going to the bar.
Yeah. Shayna says we like this guy. Oh yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, he brings that younger view instead of a couple of crotchety old guys, right? That's the fun part of it. But we were talking, and I get it. Listen, I get it. I do, right? And again, like I said, as a deacon, I have officiated several of these over the years, right? And not one has ever been the same, except for the ham sandwiches at the end.
Except for the ham
With
sandwich.
the Hawaiian rolls.
With
They had egg salad yesterday, sandwiches, cut in triangles, right?
And it depends where you're at. I mean, my buddy Joey Glass, we called him Joey Glass. He passed away back in the 90s, and his funeral was at a Catholic church. And at a Catholic church, you can't take communion, but they said I could come up and read and do the prayers. I'm like, wait, so you're gonna trust me with this, but I can't have a last drink with my friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
I've never heard that one.
Oh yeah, no. If you're not Catholic, you can't take the communion.
They won't let you take communion if you're not Catholic.
Lie to them.
Weddings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lie to them. Speak. Yep.
Yeah, because that's what you want to do in the house of the Lord.
Why not?
Yeah.
How disrespectful that you can't have the body of Christ when you're trying. Yeah. Share it. Hey, God said share.
And
You're supposed to share.
I don't know if God said share.
I'm
Maybe
telling
Sonny.
you, Sonny, but no, God said share.
I would.
The gospel according to Scott, right?
What?
The gospel according to Scott.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't denigrate the religious practices of any faith if you want to have it. But
right.
However,
That's
last time I went to a Catholic one. Okay, the guy started chanting in Latin, and it was decidedly not a feeling that I got that was anything but demonic. Like, I'm sorry, you ever heard a guy chant in Latin while like whipping a thing around that's on fire? I kind of was like,
waiting for people to spin around.
Where's my grandfather going?
Yeah. What did he really do?
Right. I mean, he wasn't the best guy, but I don't think he deserved that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more spooky. Or like when people start praying in tongues, you're like, what?
Yeah.
They're actually aliens. They're normal.
And there are some.
They're just changing for us, so we can understand.
There's only one person I think that died right, and that's Jesus, because we celebrate that son of God every year. His death. Like, hey,
that's a celebration.
Hey!
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and when I die, I hope the world does the same for Ken.
Celebrate you every year.
Oh, every year, like, hey.
Well, all you got to do is go in a cave and we'll leave it a couple days later.
That's the key. I think.
That's the key.
Right?
If you come back, we'll celebrate you, kid. Yeah.
Prove that even in death, you are strong and in living.
We burn people now. We're like, we're not giving you.
We're not giving you a chance to come back. We're gonna annihilate. Hit the button.
Hit the button. Yeah. But that's why look at the rituals all through time, not just now.
Oh yeah, all through time.
The way they wrapped the people, mummies, and things, people back in the day,
and a lot of societies had a much stronger sense of what they would refer to as like honor, right?
Yeah.
So like the Japanese committing suicide to not be a burden on their families. Ancient Vikings committing the Etestoup. They would jump off a cliff and basically just get dispose of the body, dispose of the burden they were placing on their families. I mean, that to me, that makes a lot more sense.
Did you just say Etestoup?
The Etestoup.
I was, I was kind of like, I was just trying to process that one, going, okay.
And that's why Shayna likes this guy.
Yeah, right. He got a smooth voice and words.
And he comes with a better than a third grade education.
That's awesome. I got a fourth grade. Come on, give me a little bit of credit. A little bit, just a smidgen.
But honest to God, right? I mean, that is the truth. I mean, there's there's so many things like that. But now, I mean, there's so many people on Earth, like, and because of water. I mean, if you die down in Louisiana, you can't be buried because of the water table. And a hurricane comes, and bodies just start floating around.
Is that why that's why everything's on they have the mausoleum, or what do they call them, above ground? Is it a mausoleum? Right? Mausoleums, right?
See, and I won't go see my grandfather, my dad's dad, because he's buried above ground, and to me, that's always freaked me out. Where I'm like, not that burying in the ground is much better, right? But at least out of sight, out of mind, right? Like, I'm not walking up to a drawer that says, Charles Slagle on it. Like that.
Open me up.
To me, freaks me out. I can't do that. Like when I was a kid, mummies freaked me out too. It's like, especially they exhume them and they put them on display, and it's like that's a dead person that you just
So here in town, it used to be called St. Paul Episcopal Church, over by the pool on St. Paul Ave. They had a mausoleum back there, and a lot of the families who helped build the church and whatnot, that was their final resting place, right, in the memorial garden. Well, then they went out of business, right? The church, they couldn't afford the membership drop or whatever, and a Russian Orthodox church came in. And they took it down. They took it out.
What?
Yeah. So all those people, they had to go to the diocese and find out who was where, and find out who, and say, listen, you got to come get.
We're exhuming.
Jerry.
We're exhuming them.
Yep.
What?
Holy
How is that?
hell.
How is that legal? I thought that was like.
Well,
I thought as soon as that was.
I don't know, but people were calling me.
Well, if you own the property, you can do whatever you want with the property.
People were
That's
calling
crazy.
me because I was the deacon there, and they're like, "What do we do?" I go, "Contact."
Go pick them up and bring a Ziploc.
Right? Yeah. Right.
I mean,
don't know.
sounds a little weird, but yeah, go bring
Right.
a Ziploc. Go grab your
Can you
family.
imagine spending all the money for a fancy funeral, fancy casket? You know, you spend the whole
Mausoleum. Put 'em in the
$30,000, and then then your family's got to come put you in the back of a pickup truck, and whatever's left, they got to take it away.
Could
Like,
you
that's
imagine
crazy.
getting that phone call? Hey, by the way, that property where your father's buried, your father, they sold that property. So can you come?
Yeah.
We've got them in a canister, in a chock full of nuts can. Can you come pick
Right.
them up?
Don says, but you did get D's in 4th grade, Scott.
How do you know? See, he didn't say it live. He's typing it because he knows I can't see it.
It's not Don from Grapevine who said that.
Oh,
That was the other Don. That was Tom. Yeah.
oh, Tom.
Shayna says, I attended a celebration for a younger man that was produced at a high-end wedding level. It must have set them back, but it brought them so much joy for them to hear stories only shared with drinks. Yeah, so that like a true celebration. Like we were partying, having a good time, telling stories.
Well, and that's what this one that I went to turned into. People were starting to get liquored up and talk freely at the end.
But it didn't sound like it. Sounded like you were let down.
I was because of just the whole thing, right? I mean, people had fun, but for me, it was very lackluster. I was saddened by it,
So you
right?
shouldn't
Because
have gone, is what you're saying.
yeah, I probably would have.
Your last memory is how bad that sucked.
Yep. Yeah, I probably would have preferred not going because of that, but I'm happy I went because I did get to speak to a few people that I haven't spoke to in a while. And like I said, one of my best friends growing up's mom. I mean, it was good for me, but the other stuff.
When was the last time you talked to her?
When her husband passed away, but I only got to say, basically that sucks.
So now in her life, you're the end of life guy. Hey, I really love you being part of my life. Sorry, this one's dead.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The only time I get to see you now.
Sorry, this one's dead.
Yeah, that's the only
Weddings
time.
Weddings and funerals. Sometimes that's the only time you see people.
Yep.
Christmas and Easter. That's it. Right. But honestly, right? I mean, so there's so much, and the sad thing is, if I could celebrate Steve's life, if I could celebrate your life every day, wouldn't that be better than?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, listen, I know Scott's dead. What's happening with the Mustang?
Yeah.
Who gets the Mustang? Yeah.
What do you do?
It is a good reminder, but we always remind ourselves in tragedy that we should do certain things, and then 5 minutes later, it seems like we forget it again.
Yeah, why is that? Because I'm going to bring that up. Why is that? I mean, we come into these and it's like, wow, reality slaps.
Because I'll tell you, Scott, it's because we don't mean it when we say it.
And well, everybody's got so much going on in their lives, and it's easy to forget the things that are important. And then when a funeral happens, that's the time where the guilt drives you to be like, oh, now I remember what was important. Maybe it's too late now, but at the end of the day, and then we do keep that fresh.
Yeah, but
that week, and then we move on.
Right, but then it just fades off.
But again, it isn't important if we don't make time for it. If we say it was important in that moment, but we don't mean it because our actions demonstrate we didn't mean it at all, because we go right back to not celebrating other people until they're gone. So I think it's no different than in Christmas season. Everybody's nice to each other. You hear people, why can't we be nice to each other like this all year round?
Scam.
And by January 6th, everybody's back to being 7th, 8th, 9th. Everybody's back to being normal. And I think it is something we should really take seriously instead of just a cliche. Oh, we should focus on what's more important, because I think it's just a cliche now, and people don't actually live it. And I had the same exact feeling. I haven't talked to my best friend from high school in months, and it made me think, man, I need to call him. His name is Kent too. But it does make you think, what should I be doing differently? And then will we actually do it differently if we think we should?
Yeah. So Lisa just says, after my husband's service, the buddies from high school were meeting at a pub. I went and put his urn in the middle of the bar. They thought I had lost it, but I said, where would he choose to be?
That's where you want to be.
Left out as she tripped and the ashes went out.
All over the bar. But see, now, that's a good realistic statement, right? He'd want to be here with you guys drinking.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
She was, I mean, who knows what he would have wanted, but she thought what he might have wanted and what would be best for him.
Right.
So,
and it is weird. Right.
It just sucks that you have events like that in your life that actually that's what stirs a lot of people to actually think about this stuff. I mean, do you honestly think about death until somebody dies? I mean, sometimes it'll pop in your head, but really thinking about what you want.
Pretty morbid.
Yeah. Well, getting,
again,
it's going to happen.
It's
going to happen.
Again, listen, I'm dead.
Right.
Yeah.
I've left this blue marble. I've left this vessel that
well,
I'm
the reason
right now.
Right.
So guess what? I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, have a celebration, make it a national holiday. I don't care, because why? It's like when a watch stops.
Because you don't do anything.
Right.
You're
It's like when a watch stops. It's no longer working.
Right.
I'm dead.
Right. Like for me though,
Time to stop.
when I pass, I just don't want to leave a bunch of shit for people to have to clean up and deal with. I want to make sure that I go and it's just
all the emotional shit that you put people through, they got to deal with. That's their life.
They got to deal with that now. They got to deal with that now.
I'm kidding.
Right, but just having it all planned out and laid out for them and not leaving them with a bunch of fucking headaches.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Scott. If you can make it easier on people when we're gone, I think that's a good idea. But it's, more. I always say people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they do their after death.
They spend more time planning a vacation than they do their future, their financials, life.
It says true on the ashes everywhere, and he would have been dying laughing.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Bob Giles, welcome in, my friend. Says,
good morning, buddy.
I've had friends who had a celebration of life party before their death. That's what I think you should.
That's what you were saying earlier. That's what I think that's a fantastic
question
idea.
with that though is, when do you choose? When do you decide to have that party?
Is somebody planning on offing me or something?
So the problem being, what I see is that, and I can speak for Americans, right? Because I've never been out of the great country of America. Maybe to Canada when I was a kid, but North Americans. Let me just put up North Americans. Is we truly aren't grateful for things, right? We don't take a moment every day to just be grateful for what we have.
Yeah.
We're trying to push for bigger, better, faster, stronger.
2 weeks ago, my hot water heater stopped working. And do you know how much I was grateful for hot water after taking ice cold shower or bath, or you know what I'm saying? For a couple
you
of
appreciated
days,
what you didn't have for
just
that short period of time.
Days, right?
Yep.
And that's the same way here, is that we don't take time enough to be grateful.
Yeah.
Right. To truly just be grateful, to look at your kid and go, I'm so blessed to be able to have made this life, have this life pass through me and me be part of this journey this time. Right. And I'm like, we just don't do that at all.
And that's exactly what Don was saying. It's the same thing. We think about things that are important at the wrong time. We don't practice it. Gratitude is one of those things that you need to practice regularly to think about. But we generally don't until we don't.
I was going to say, a lot of people don't think about it and being grateful for something until it's gone. Then it's like, oh shit.
You had touched on this a little bit on Wednesday. What it was? Two bald guys in a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the silver linings. Yeah. The big do the big thing about gratitude, and I think that is so important. That's one of the things we do need to focus in on.
That makes your day much better when you can wake up and actually be thankful for the things that you do have, because no matter where you're at in life, you have good
someone's dead.
You have but no matter where you're at in life, there are some good things that you can pull out every day. I mean, no matter what.
Well, and the rest of the world laughs at us when they look at what we complain about.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, I call them first world problems.
A lot. Yeah,
first world
problems.
How many times have I been, eating blackberries and you get down to the bottom of the blackberry thing and there's mold on them? You're like, shit, this sucks.
Wasn't any on what I saw.
That's what I say most of the time.
Enough, and hey, just enough is just right for you.
It's just building your immunity.
I was going to say, building the system working better.
Penicillin, right? Just I always love, like when we go on vacation, I love to drive. I'm not a flyer, right? I will fly, but I love to drive. And you hit the mountains, whatever mountains they may be, and you're like, what if I was on a horse and a fucking covered wagon
trying to get through this shit?
What the fuck's going through your mind?
Dying of dysentery.
And I'm like, I don't know, put the cruise a little higher. But I that's the way I work, and I look at things like, man, them poor bastards. I mean, what do you do? I mean, because Nebraska is so flat, you see the mountains as soon as you get in there.
Nebraska's nothing but a freaking flat wasteland.
You're still there, and you get closer in your little covered wagon, and it's 3 months later.
Right. It's like I'm almost there.
That
I-70 corridors or I-80 corridor is horrible.
How do I get around this son bitch?
Yes.
Up and over.
Dysentery. Brad got bit by a snake. Now it's just the three of us, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right. I'm down to my last.
Cloudy today. I don't know which way's west.
Right. Yeah. So there's so much that I think of and I'm grateful for, and I'm more grateful for the pioneers and the people before me, right?
You don't have to do it.
The miracles that are every day, right? The miracles of
people that invented indoor plumbing and television.
Hey, listen,
you take for granted if you know man camp. It's an outhouse. You poop in a man dug hole.
You're sitting there hoping the spiders and the bees don't get in your business.
Right.
And if you get by a snake,
you wait till the last minute,
and there's not a possum in that hole.
Yeah. You wait till the last minute. You get that percolation out of the way and run, do it, and be like, all right, I'm going swimming.
Right.
Well, and Ken, as we know, if a snake bites you on the backside and sitting there, and somebody has to suck out the poison, you're going to die, man. You're going to die.
Says that gratitude is a type of fuel, and I agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's got to be. It's true gratification.
Right.
Right.
Not just saying something to say something. It's really being grateful for that, whatever it is that you're grateful for. Right. Like not just saying it to try to boost yourself and really being thankful for what it is you have. Yeah. Realizing that not many people have that, or, it took whatever to get that.
Yeah. Well, and when you pose an example like that, being out on the prairie, it's like, there's so much to be grateful for.
They woke up this
clean
morning.
Drinking water. Woo! I have indoor plumbing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
we take it for granted.
Yes, every day.
Yeah,
3 times a day.
Right. It was like last night. I got home. It was a long day of work. I get home. I mow the lawn because it's going to start raining. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to mow the lawn. So I get done mowing the lawn. Alice has had a long day, and she's like, hey, I got chicken out. I'm like, I'm not cooking. I'm spent. It's 6 o'clock, 6:30. I'm spent. I'm not cooking. And then so we go to Culver's. I mean, we got actual places we can go when
right down the street.
Hey, I know this hamburger doesn't cost $8, but I'm gonna pay it.
I don't feel like cooking. Yeah, right.
And you couldn't do that, right? It's like, well, back in the day, okay, guess what? Culver's ain't down the road. So guess what?
Right.
Hey, you're gonna be hungry.
Right.
Yeah.
Good luck. Go to bed hungry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or having to come home from work and then kill, skin, and then eat the chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, no, I do.
Yeah, right. Or most Americans. Right.
Well, my neighbor gets so mad.
I think
because it's their chicken.
Yeah, I don't own chickens.
Yeah.
I don't. Now that I think about it, I don't know where that chicken came from.
That's right.
Yeah.
Might have been a pigeon.
Yeah. Well, that's far.
Yeah. I think the big gist for what you take out of these things too, though, is it does give you, at least for a small amount of time, looking and going, appreciating what you do have, and it's for us figuring out how to make that last and appreciating every day and being grateful for the things. It's unfortunate that wedding or funerals have to spark that in you.
Yeah.
But celebrating life is important which brings me to something I wanted to point out to everybody out there. I just wanted to congratulate my good friend over here.
For being coach.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, my good friend over here was
Coach,
was named head coach at MCC Scots for the ladies basketball team.
Yeah,
big, huge step. A college basketball coach, Mr. Jones, right?
Shaping the mind of our future athletes.
We are going to celebrate you, my friend.
These poor ladies.
Yeah, the mental torment they're going to go through.
The big thing is, that's why on the post I was like just blessed, humbled, and you run after your dreams long enough, you might just run into them. You know?
Right.
And
never give up at it.
And so that's it. And Bob says, or Lisa says, Shayna says gratitude's a type of fuel.
Bob, Lisa, and Shayna. What?
Lisa says gratitude is a sensation and perspective. It's not just words. And Bob says, if nothing else, the conversation this morning should tell each one of us to celebrate and enjoy each and every day.
Agreed, 100%.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true, and that's why I was saying it's you should, and it's to me it's disheartening a little bit that it's things like this that actually have to like re-kick it back into you, right? That you can't wake up every day and go, like when people say, hey, how's it going? Living the dream. It's like, well, what's the dream? You know what I mean? I'm just happy I woke up this morning and I get an opportunity to try to do better today than I did yesterday.
Yeah,
right? Or try to make a difference in someone's life.
Until Steve joined the show, let's be honest. If nothing else, this morning's conversation should tell each of us to celebrate and enjoy each and every day. Most of the time, before Steve got here, everybody would look at their life differently and celebrate, going, God, I'm glad I'm not those two idiots. My life is not that bad.
Listen to those guys every Friday, man, I got it good.
And yes, Shayna says, never been a better time to be in women's basketball. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I was saying that this morning.
But I say it's a heavy yoke because I understand that I'm part of these women's dreams. For them to get to the next step of their dream, right? And not just play basketball. I mean, just get a quality education, chase whatever they want to
become
chase.
a good human.
And I say it's a heavy yoke because if I screw this up, right.
We can blame you for their bad lives.
Handle it right. If I ever take my eyes off of understanding that I'm part of their dream and they're not part of mine, then I could screw up some women. And I tell these young ladies every day. I tell all the women that I coach, it's like you're strong, beautiful women, and you can change the world.
Well, and there's nothing more important. And regardless if they, this might be the last time they ever play basketball, they might go on to play professional. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a positive role model, and especially in this day and age, a positive male role model that is going to inspire is worth its weight in gold, regardless of where they go. They'll go off into the world being better people than they were before. And that's absolutely amazing. That's what I mean, being an educator of any kind, including a coach, 100%, it is worth so much because you're shaping people for the future.
I was going to say, next generation. You're giving them some self-confidence, some self-worth.
Absolutely.
And
reminding them that they're strong, beautiful women,
Right. Well, and
unfortunately, you don't hear that a lot these days out there in the world.
We've had Matt Barafato on the Purpose Hunter. And he talks about his the COD, right? And that's your exit date. Basically, somebody put a meme out there. It had orange juice and April 11th, right? So OJ's expiration date was April 11th.
Okay,
right. We all don't know that day, right? I mean, we've written it down in the Akashic records, but here we don't have the capacity or that portion of the brain or soul to remember what our exit date is. And if you live every day, I think Og Mandino said it best, is if you live every day as if it's your last, right?
Yeah.
You'll approach life a little bit differently because you just never know.
Right? You don't. Yeah. You have no idea. And I mean, sometimes when I say that, hey, I'm happy I just woke up this morning. I mean, I am serious, but it's at some points it's become just kind of a response to people, right? But being really grateful that you did wake up, regardless of what your situation is. You did wake up.
Right.
Lots of people didn't.
What I'm showing is
size of your
space
penis
here, right? So this is all that really matters.
Don't call me out like that.
Is this?
Yeah, right.
That's what I was going. Is this 2-inch space? So on your gravestone or whatever, it has your exit date. But
what's in between?
It's the dash in between that's your legacy. That's really what, Garth Brooks, it's in a song, but that's really the idea of what you're trying to live for, and who you're trying to be is what happened in the dash.
Yeah.
And if you can mind that dash, life's going to be good. So Shayna says, please hold them to the same standard as you would men. Would you tell the men they were beautiful? Yeah, actually I do.
100%. You have to. Yeah. Everyone needs to be told that they're a beautiful person all the time.
Right. Doesn't necessarily mean looks. You're beautiful, meaning a person.
Correct.
You're right. Correct. You're not doing physical. I think that's strong, I think that's the first thing that people think of when you use beautiful is physically,
aesthetically,
right? Aesthetically, not just as a person, right? Internally,
Yeah. And I do say that to all the athletes.
He says it to me all the time, but I think he's hitting on me.
Wait till the camera goes off. It gets weird.
You're strong, beautiful.
The green room becomes the red room.
And I don't call them girls. I don't call them ladies. I say women and I say men. You're strong, beautiful young men, intelligent young men that can change the world.
Right.
All morning while we've been talking about it, you've been calling them athletes.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what they are. Yeah. Athletes first. That's that's
students
the role.
First, athletes.
Well, yes,
humans.
But the idea is, I try to tell everybody that because I don't ever want to be the person who steals a person's dream, right?
No, God.
I told myself that a long time ago. I've watched a lot of high school coaches. I've watched a lot of basketball coaches and whatnot steal people's dreams.
That wasn't, dude. I mean, I had a coach back in. I mean, obviously, I'm not really a good basketball player, but I'm a good hard worker. But I literally told me, you'll never be a basketball player. Don't waste your time. It's like, as a kid, like how soul crushing. You know what I mean?
Are you
what
a basketball player?
I enjoy playing ball. I'm not great.
Are you a basketball player?
Yeah, because I play basketball.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
he was wrong.
He was wrong. That's what I'm getting at. It was just the rudest, shittiest comment ever. I probably realized in my head I ain't going to the NBA, but I'm still a basketball player, and you just say that is just.
So once I have next season scheduled. Right now we're in the working out phase of it with colleges and whatnot. So once we have that, I will share it, Shayna. But to me, it's about sharing your passions and sharing your love.
Yeah. It's a lot of hard work to get you there, man. I'm proud of you.
And it is. And never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I could be a college coach. So,
which is awesome. And they will, and they'll remember it. They'll remember you forever. Yeah, I had
he'll stand out over there for sure.
I still remember my first positive male role model when I was growing up as a kid. Jason Woodford. If you're out there, I have no idea where he is to this day, but I know I'll remember his name, I'll remember his face, and I'll remember the time he took to teach me the important life lessons that mattered. And least of which,
that's not the mass murderer, Jason Woodford.
I mean, I'm going to do some Google searches later.
I definitely had coaches that were that positive, but I also had coaches that taught you what not to do.
I was going to say, damn, you just killed it.
But yeah, least of the things he taught me was basketball. But he did teach me basketball, and of the things I remember him for, I mean, everything else first, like the life skills, and the positive attention, just the believe in yourself attitude. And I don't remember anybody else's name from school. Couldn't tell you any of my other teachers' names necessarily. Certainly not their first name. But
remember that one that had a lot of impact is good.
But where I'm at and how I'm at is, I get a lot of knowledge from just this, this platform and the people who are on it, and great people like Lisa, like you, Scott, Steve, Don. I'm curious and a sponge, so I try not to take any credit. And like I tell all my teams, so when we win, you win. When we lose, I did something wrong, right?
Yeah,
I didn't do my job right.
So, right. Because coach, right? Well, then the coach has a lot to do with it, and that's the one that has to know when to put in, take out.
In business and whatever. So all through
The
business,
leader has to lead.
Yeah, I don't ever skirt that.
And Dave, coaches get hired to get fired, don't they?
Yeah,
it's a tough business. Yeah, if you're in it at all, that's a cliche for a reason.
But my dream is, but when I retire from this women's spot, that they'll name the gym after me.
That's right, baby.
I know that's pompous, but that's my
Jones's
dream.
Gym.
If they do, they do. That's great. If they don't, guess what? At least I gave it everything I could.
I was going to say, and
maybe they'll name the porta potty outside the gym after you. Maybe.
A parking spot with a porta potty in it.
He gets a brick. He gets a brick on the ground right next to the flagpole.
Right out back. Jones is John.
That's it.
Jones is John. There you go. I like that. There you go.
Shitty out.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to make a personal request of your audience, since I've gotten to know these people in this guise of not appreciating things until they're gone. I found out this week, and I'm going to the doctor this morning. I have 4 herniated discs. My hands are not working. My legs are not working very well. All my nerves are just frayed. And so, I just wanted to, for those of you that might be inclined to pray about 11 o'clock Central Time this morning, say, hey, just a little prayer for healing for Don, because it's been pretty miserable and I haven't been able to work much. I can't type much. And so I just wanted to ask this wonderful community that I really appreciate from a distance. Well, it's not everybody's from a distance, but it is along those lines of just, again, all of a sudden one day you can't type, you can't hardly drive sometimes. And it really will snatch away from you something that's, 3 weeks ago I was fine. So it's just appreciate that.
This morning?
I'm sorry?
You're having surgery this morning?
No, I go to the doctor just to have him tell me what we're going to do about these 4 herniated discs in my neck.
Hey, Don. So I'm not a doctor, obviously, but something to seriously consider before surgery is it's spinal decompression.
Yeah. Most of the time, this is solved without surgery. So I've been reading
a lot of doctors. That's where they make their money is surgery. My brother's a chiropractor. He does spinal decompression. He's got a special machine. Something really to look into to stretch it back.
I already have my chiropractor has already been engaged, so I'm working with doctors and chiropractors because if I don't have to do surgery, I don't want to do surgery.
I'm so sorry that's happening to you, buddy. I wish there was something.
Just power through.
Pray for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We got you for sure. Never in my wildest dreams.
Well, keep us abreast of that situation, please.
Listen,
I mean,
Don,
I don't know what we can do, but
I would love to insert a funny thing here, but I don't know what to say.
You got nothing. You got nothing.
You made him speechless, which is tough.
Well, no, I mean
it's a serious deal.
The back, as you say, my daughter-in-law has spinal meningitis. It's a very scary thing because that's where the body runs through. It's the spine. Yeah. Everything works there, and when you don't know, and it's such a delicate area. I mean, one little slip, and next thing you know, you're bound to a chair, right?
Yep. That's my dad actually had that as a kid, spinal meningitis. Almost died. Penicillin has saved his life. He was a guinea pig.
So we'll be praying for you for sure, Don.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Anything you need,
reach out, please.
I can get down there to Dallas pretty quick.
Okay, that's very nice of you. I appreciate it. And I am heading your guys' way the end of next week. I don't know what my Friday morning looks like, but I'm going to continue to threaten to drop in on your studio.
I would love that.
Somebody wheels him in, he straps you.
Yeah, right. Surgery had to happen. Big hug.
Hey, listen, we got to run. The bridge is up next, and then the Digital Boss Boardroom with Bobby Bainey is going to be a best of today as she prepares for Gigi's Playhouse Fashion Show. It's their big annual fundraiser that comes up Sunday. Check them out at gigisplayhouse.com.
It's a good fundraiser.
It's a great thing. They work with Down syndrome kids.
Yep.
Everything that they do is just impressive. But she's the chairman of the board, so she's really been.
Bobby is of Gigi's. Oh, okay.
Really been working hard to put this together. It's going to be quite a blowout on Sunday, but you can check them out, and there's link for some of the silent auction stuff and whatnot. But you still get tickets. It's one of the best events of the year, Gigi's Playhouse Fashion Show, where all these young adults and young kids, dress up in in outfits that like superstar, models. It's a blast.
That's beautiful. That's good.
I was blessed to be the MC last year. I've got something going on Sunday. I can't this year, but absolutely just thank for her. But and then in the know with Steph and Joe today is learning and versus applying. right?
That's a good
how
one.
many times do we learn something and never apply it, especially in the business world?
A lot.
That's going to be a good
A
show.
lot.
Yeah.
You know, you go to all the seminars and stuff, and then it's like, yeah, pump, go back to work. Yeah, same thing. So,
All right, for all of us, here at 216 Creator Studios, for the grounds, for Steve, for Scott, and myself, appreciate who you are this morning. Sorry, we had a little technical glitch here with our with
comments
our
line
software, but that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So we'll see in about 15 minutes. You come back to the bridge with Phil Wallace and Kelly Downs.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Yeah, I hope
Best
the
to
whole
you,
thing goes
Don.
well, Don. But we appreciate you and everyone tuning in. Go out there and be the change you want to see in the world. You know, give people that daily dose of encouragement, and don't be afraid to share with people, because you never know, they're probably feeling the exact same way you are. You'd be surprised what people do and know and say. Thank you, and have a wonderful week.